Hello, my name is Amosphère, and I am a musician and artist as well. So I do multimedia installations with sound, and I perform quite a lot recently in the past years with my synthesizers, and I also compose sometimes with acoustic instruments and sounds. And my music or my work, I would describe it as something very cosmological, as lots of my inspiration comes from the cosmos and the nature and spirituality in general. My work is quite often inspired by cosmology, not really astrology, but like some ancient, whether it's like aesthetically or spiritually in a philosophy sense. It's for example, the scores I create inside the booklet with the album is composed with typewriter. Like, it's more about something between abstraction and fiction sometimes, even though this seems like quite minimal, like typewriter art or poetry we can see maybe, where I had a lot of references from the minimal art and music in the 20th century. And yeah, and then it's sometimes a bit more narrative than just forms, because for me it is in the time we now live in, it's somehow important to like have this narrative aspects, and at least for me personally. So yeah. Yes, it's interesting because I basically just traveled and tried to study different things in different countries, but from very, very young age I started to like navigate on the internet, where I luckily found some independent music and films that I couldn't find in my hometown, because there's not really exhibitions or concerts where I grew up, and it's a totally different political background. So the only way I found was through internet and also books, to like, just I got very curious about different cultures and what's outside of that sphere. Well, it's going to be in the space and outer space.
Who would you choose?
Eliane Radic.
What are you passionate about besides music?
Well, since the COVID, I got a lot of new hobbies, like sports and yoga, and I'm not really an expert, but I somehow just discovered like how important it was to connect the body and the mind with the spirituality, and it's not only about mental health, or it's something deeper and further in the spirit.
Yeah, it seems like.
I think it really, ideally for me, it would be a collective experience each time with the public, the connection, and also the energies that we could generate together with everyone present, even a plant or an animal, with the space, how we interact with each other. And I don't really consider my music or my work to be like directly connected with meditation, because I try personally in my life to meditate, to be like more with my, like, to have a more clearer spirits and calming mind. But with music, I try to be like more open-minded, rather instead of saying that, oh, this is meditative and this is going to heal your it's more about the effects that gave to people, or even myself, inside the body. It could be positive or negative, and it could be not meditative at all, but it gives some effects, like psychologically and physically, some movements and some energy flows, we can call that. Well, I personally believe that in my culture, based on the Taoist theory, we can say there's yin energies and yang energies in each human and each creature, like living creatures. And so sometimes we can have a woman with a lot of yang energies and a man with a lot of yin energies. So it's not really about the orientation the real sex we had since the birth, but also the energies inside each of us. So I think it's somehow biologically difficult in general for women in all kinds of careers in life general, and now with the recent news with abortions and something terrible news. I think I personally, I have read a lot of feminist books and references and broadcasts stuffs, but what I do personally is really like I try sort of separate the fact that I am a woman, like doing my work, and the fact that I am involved or engaged in any movements in the social and political life. That is another aspect for me. So when I perform, for example, when I compose or collaborate with people, I try to forget the fact that I'm just there, doing my stuff. But then in real life, I try to be very engaged, because there are some real causes to consider this social and political reasons to we can say better life conditions for women, or like any other reasons. I wanted to say a synthesizer, but yesterday I arrived at my hotel room and it was completely emptied, beautiful wood and very minimal space where I just I said, I laid on the bed comfortably, and I said to myself, I am everything I need. Actually, I don't really need any objects. When you don't think about, oh, today I have to brush my teeth or drink a cup of water, that you need those objects. But I imagine that after life we don't need any object at all. We just need ourselves. Maybe. Oh, that happens a lot. Actually, I live in a space. I live in a wooden cottage where it is surrounded by nature, and it has this roof, like triangle high roof, which I think is quite connected with the higher energies. I don't know, with the cosmos, with the sky and stars, moons, planets, because I quite often feel some connections within a dream or even within a daydream. I quite often record those weird experiences. I sometimes, sorry, it's going to be very personal, it's a personal secret, but I think it's okay to share this, because sometimes I can really see some daydreams that I try to record, and then the thing happens 2 weeks after or several days after. So that's a very interesting moment for me to compose or to create some artwork or music. I recently read a story which is very impressive, so I'm going to repeat those 3 questions to myself. What is the most important thing to do? When is the best timing? And with whom you want to work with? That's already answered in the story. Like it's it's a Buddhist master who talked about this story, where he answered. But the most important thing is just the most important moment is now. The momento. And the most important thing is the thing I'm not really express myself very well, but the thing, it's like just that you have to do now. And the best person to work with is the person in front of you now.